Okay, this is the video where I explain exactly what I did to get the gold. I'm making this video exactly after I made the one to prove this, so my gold's the same. However, by the time this probably gets released, I'll probably have a lot more gold and it probably won't be as viable, but this is just to show you what I was doing to make this sort of gold, and maybe it still will be viable to a certain point. We'll see. Okay, so it all comes down to the auction house. Some people work that out straight away, fair enough. It was a bit obvious. What I've been doing is exploiting people's naivety, if you like, to the game and profiting on it massively. For example, let's just run through some numbers. Okay, so at the bottom is all what I purchased. You can see what all these items I bought. The highest one being 150k. Some 80k's, 50k's, 95's, basically never going over 150. Now if we go to solds, I mean, just look at the difference. I mean, I had some really good sales. Gorgeous weapons are yellow. I made 403k out of it after fees, and let's just see what I bought it for. I bought it for 150k, so that's, you know, 250 odd k for, I think it was 5 minutes work. That's $250,000. This is how I was getting it so fast. I just want to show you the process from start to finish. This isn't the best weapon to do it on, but I'll make a profit on this guaranteed. I know from experience now, after doing this for a while, that this is a guaranteed profit. So what I was doing, search, equipment, I just stuck to one hand, and I came across this by accident really. Level 50 and search. Press DPS twice and you get the highest DPS item. That's 820 at the moment, and it's 3 million, and rightly so. That's about the price you get. You want to set your max buyout to something you can afford. I mean, I can afford pretty much anything now, but back then when I had, say, 200k, I was putting it to, say, 50,000. So I'd go 50,000. Now I just keep refreshing this and looking for. You have to be very fast on buying items, and you have to know within a couple of seconds what's going to sell for what. For the purpose of this video, I've just bought one. It's just a random level 50-ish axe. Send it to the stash. Now this is a massive tip. Basically, the whole method revolves around this DPS. I noticed when I was going for a new weapon myself, I wasn't really looking at stats as much as I was looking at damage. I said to myself, I want something with over 500 DPS. So what I did, I typed in weapons, etc., how much gold I had, and I just pressed start, and something came up, and I thought, oh, that looks nice, 75k or whatever I paid for it, and I used it. That's what most people at this time are doing. You can get some absolute bargains at the moment. I mean, I've seen weapons. I mean, if I go back into my, I don't need to brag. I can show you exactly what I've been doing. Let's go for another big one here. There has been a few. This one here for 207k. A Shaling Quang of Discord, or whatever the hell it's called. Call it 208k. This is all after fees as well. So I listed them for a lot more, and I just got a random error. Strange. Sorry about this. Yeah, so back into auction house. But yeah, you can get the basics of it. I mean, this is just after I've made the proof video, and I'll get people asking me. I'm a movie maker for Warcraft movies. I'm interested in your method for farming gold in Diablo. I've been getting stuff, really weird stuff. I've been having people offer me tons of gold to tell them how to do it, and they'll give me the gold first, and they'll promise to tell no one, and stuff like that. But it really is so simple, and I can't believe people aren't doing it. I really can't. So with that said, I bought that item and it's in my stash, right? So what I was doing, socket items really are good for this, because as I said, people are looking at DPS. They're not really looking at stats, especially for one-handers, because they can get the stats on the items. They just want a really powerful weapon. In my videos and my screenshots, you'd notice I was in Act 1 a lot. It's because I was using my stash. Basically, just socketing a red gem into these items, and it boosts the damage up. Logging out. Going back to the auction house. Now, this is the part where you've got to try and work out how much you can get for it, but you have to undercut as well. Bearing in mind I paid 50k for this, and I've got to pay 15% on whatever I list it for. So again, one hand, level 50, search. Let's just put something reasonable, 150k, and you've got to see the DPS. The top DPS, I put 15k there, sorry, that's my bad. 150k. Okay, there's one, actually I'm going to buy that. See, you come across these items, you've just got to buy them. You have to buy them, and I'm going to make profit on that straight away. I know I'll make about 60-70k out of that without much hassle. So, what was our DPS? I'm forgetting already, I am tired. 531.7. So, you go back, look for 531 or thereabouts. You've got some here for 529. They're going for about 100k, 150k. But then you've got some up here for 100k, and they're like 516s, 537s. You basically get the feel for where you are. I mean, there's a lot here for 150k that are under my weapon, but I would not list this for 150k. I'd take about the average. I mean, personally, I'll get a number in my head, and I'll just think, okay, we'll just go for that number. I bought it for 50k. I've got to take transaction fees out of it. What do I want to make out of the item? I want it to sell very relatively fast. I will note that I've never had an item not sell. I've never had to take an item off, which you can't anyway after 5 minutes. Every item I've ever put on is sold. It's because I'm not greedy. Even though I've got 3.5 million, it all comes in time. You've just got to keep at it. So, get the item, go for sell. I'm thinking about 120k here. That gives me a nice 100% profit on the item. So, just go 120k. And hopefully, while this video is going, you'll be able to see that sell pretty fast. If not, I'll just update it when it does. So yeah, that was basically, yeah. Look at this. This is an absolute steal, and that is so unfortunate. Let me just show you what this is. This is how I make the bulk of my gold. This weapon here is a 642.3 DPS weapon. It's being listed for 75k. Which is absolute pittance. I could have made about 300,000 gold off that item if I was fast enough to buy it. But because I'm doing this video and stuff, I'm not really focusing as much as I should be. But these come up at least 3 or 4 times an hour. It's how I got so much gold. It's how I got it so fast. And I can see myself doing this for another few days at least, maybe a couple of weeks before the prices really settle down and everyone's 60 and don't need these items anymore. And that's probably where you'll be watching this video, unfortunately. But while the going's good, I'm going to stick with it. So let me just show you what sort of prices this is going for. So you've got 642 DPS weapon there. Get rid of the max buyout. We're just going to look for something as close as we can to 642. 650. Okay, 644. That'll do. Let's go for 850,000 gold. Weapons below that weapon are going for 699, 750, 650, and these sound like massive prices, but they're not. People pay this. I've had people pay this. Personally, I'd list this for about 400k, and as soon as it went up, it would get bought. I mean, you pay 75k, you list it for 400 to 450, you take the AH fees out of it. I'm not a maths genius, but what's that, 300k pure profit? You do that 3 times an hour, that's a million gold. It's really simple. Absolutely so simple. I mean, again, this is all I was doing constantly. Just keep refreshing. Always mess about with the prices and stuff. I mean, that weapon there, I can make money out of that weapon pretty easily, but there's not enough in it for me now that I'd want to. When I first started, I'd buy that weapon, I'd relist it for 65 to 70k, and it would sell instantly. But with the AH fees, I'm making 20k. I'm after bigger fish now. I mean, you've really got to keep your eyes open, and just this is where you're looking, where my mouse is, this is where you're looking. If you see that number jump from 526 to 580 or above, whatever the weapon is, you buy it. If it's got a socket, great. If it doesn't, well, that's unlucky. But you can see that weapon, top DPS, sold. That is because people are buying the top DPS weapon. They're probably doing the same as me, buying that. Now, they could be relisting it, or they could be using it. It doesn't matter to you. Once you've sold it, it's all profit. It's all in your pocket. So again, mess with this. I mean, I've been taking this up to 400k lately. Keep doing that. That weapon's really annoyed me because that. I mean, you look at my weapon. It cost me 300k. It's 1 less DPS. It's, you know, and that went for 75k. Someone has actually put that up for 75k. It's an absolute rip-off. This is exactly my method. It's as simple as this. There's nothing else to it, and it is a massive, massive market. People just seem to be giving their, well,